right, you too could be one of the 20 Zenith Bank customers that will win 150,000 naira every 2 weeks from June 1st, 2023 until May 31st, 2024 in the Zenith Better Life Promo 3. To qualify, simply open a Zenith Bank account. For more information, visit www.zenithbank.com/betterlife. Live the better life with Zenith Bank.
You're welcome back to the Bumper Breakfast Show. We apologize for that break in transmission. It was due to a cut in the public power supply. Well, we're back, and so much for the traffic situation and the ambulance carrying passengers and all of that. Right now on the Bumper Breakfast Show, we will be taking, the news from the newspapers, headline news from the newspapers. And this morning, I'd like to start with the Punch newspaper. Above the banner plate, it says Tinubu tenders Chicago varsity admission letter and other documents. So that for me is a very interesting one. Investors suffer 671 billion one-day loss as equities tumble. BVA's APC kicks as opposition faults INEC 98% success claim. APC protects selection. National Assembly members back Akpabio Abbas. Customs sees 3 billion smuggled rice, arrests 344 smugglers. Slaying UI Dawn amidst tears. Cleric condemns killers. Results: JAMB sanctions more candidates and ends Msoma's probe. That's it from the Punch newspaper. Let's hear what the Nigerian Tribune says.
All right, quickly, I'll take you through the stories that made it to the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. The banner headline says, Presidential Election Call, Tinubu tenders educational record from Chicago State University, U.S. visa included. All right, to open defense today in Obi's Labour Party's petition, INEC closes defense, present document. And of course, Makinde present as Afenifere leaders meet to unite Debanjo and of course, Pa Fashionoti. 2023 election, why INEC won't respond to EU report, Atiku Obi Yakubu says, police finding an axe, Adamawa reg ready. Okay, other stories include UTM is caused controversies, how Umesoma was helped to manipulate results, JAMB alleges. And of course, robbers storm Mina Palace, shoot 2 guards that you can find on page 28 of the Nigerian Tribune. Sit at top order, gunmen burn police van, dispense traders. Adebutu tender 8,000 documents against Abiodo before tribunal. APC discern Bamidele Omai Ali Udume Unovo Berry. Others are Senate Rep. Principal officials emerge in the 10th National Assembly. And quick one, I'd like to give you the names of those principals in the Nigerian National Assembly, the 10th National Assembly perhaps. The Senate include Senator Okpeyemi Bamidele, the majority leader, Ali Indume, the chief whip. We have Simon Nwakom, the minority leader. You have Darlington Nwakocha, the minority whip. And of course, in the right, you have Julius Ovebere as the House leader. You have Adewumi Ononuga as the deputy whip. You have Kingsley Chinda as minority leader. And of course, Ali Isa as a minority whip. Those are stories that made it to the front page of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper.
Well, the Nigerian Tribune is full, really
honestly
full.
Honestly speaking.
Okay, let's hear what the Nation says this morning.
Okay, I'm having the Nation here, which is, their motto, trust in the defense of freedom. Okay, boldly yet, presidency, governors back, Bamidele Ndume Umahi. Then we have Rep probes allege abuse of 2.3 trillion education tax by tech fund. That's page 2. Then we have Tinubu's witnesses begin oral testimony at the tribunal. Then 14 document comprises U.S. letter on APC candidates admitted in the evidence. Then we have here critical stakeholders, consultants, says Senate leader. How majority, minority principal officers were picked. Then we have President's Policy Excite Bank of America. Down here we have food prices. Airfare rose sharply in the month of May. That's page 7. Adopted imam tied to a tree. Okay. We have here page 2. Zulu buys 80 luxury buses to ease transport costs. INEC sets to file charges against Adamawa wreck. Actions to happen in a few days. We have Roy dipping over alleged fake JAMB results. I think we know that story already. Then we have the IG, Igbe Tokun, deployed 35 police commissioners. That's page 2. So, all for that.
Well, I think the IG has been quite busy, you know.
The president can hit the ground running on the first day. Every other person must continue to run. Now, run tire for this administration.
I go run past
well, you know, because we also know that VIP security have been withdrawn. Yeah, I'm sure you're aware of that.
But I'm sorry to cut you. Do you know that that's a withdrawing of VIPs? I mean, withdrawing police from
the VIP.
It's actually not a new story. Every IG always gets to say that. And he has said it again.
But it always continues. Now let's look at the pros and the cons of that, really. You know, don't you think that some people actually need this police security, while others just abuse it?
Exactly.
Okay, I can say something for a fact that everybody needs it, regardless who you are.
Everybody needs it.
And
I don't.
At the same time, everybody don't need it. I'll tell you. Tell you. Yes, some will always abuse. Even some of our politicians
abusing it already.
Now, not to talk of those VIP. You know, there was a time a female officer, an old lady, was carrying Titi Atiku's bag. And then people started condemning her. Why would she carry back? Do you know what she's getting from Titi Atiku? Your federal government is not giving her. And one thing about money is the motivation. You are always loyal to your source of wealth or your source of income.
True.
But this is it. In the Constitution, I think one police is allocated to about 30 or 20 people in the Constitution. Now you have VIP. Now, why I'm saying everybody needs and everybody don't need, when you get to a country or a state where the security system is intact, the security is working well, you probably don't even need a lot of security. How many times have we seen drones flying in Lagos? You know, there was a time that robbers robbed somewhere in Ibadan. If we have those hidden camera in the sky, in the air, they can easily get to locate it. The only thing we can do is to put camera in traffic lights to catch you when you miss. Like, that's the only camera I've seen so far that we have. There is no, people are scared. Lagos Ibadan Expressway, when you see that traffic, there was a time, once upon a time, those guys that sells the hawk on the street now rob people. It happens at Lekki Expressway, that Ajah,
and they vandalize the express.
You
just
understand?
To make that.
So, and you know, a rich man does not want to die.
Nobody wants
to as long as everybody wants
it's
to
not
live,
about a rich man, really. Nobody wants to die. That's
so because they have the fund to get those officers, but the truth is these officers too are dying.
And you know, there's this video we saw during the layer of this man going to kill Ram, and you have more than 13 policemen escorting him. And people were asking, even the police IG, they wants to know the man.
That's why
just to kill a ram, you're having
I saw that video. I don't think it's Nigeria.
No,
they were not even. They were like military guys.
Yes,
they were armed. It was with his son.
It was, sorry to say, it was a police uniform.
It was our police uniform.
So there were many. Those
it happened in Nigeria, but
so now they're even escorting ram to be killed
in the north.
Where is what we don't have the details, but yes, it happened in Nigeria because they were wearing the Nigerian police uniform, the mobile police uniform. Yes, it's
Exactly.
happening in
Those
Nigeria.
guys were
So that's
harmed,
what we're
gone,
talking about. We're
yeah.
talking about the abuse.
Exporting
We're
the wrong
talking
thing.
about the abuse of it, and we'd like to hear from the public. What do they have to say about it? Because,
Exactly.
like I said, of course there will be needs for
Some
secure,
particular
yes,
people.
for some particular people. And when you talk about the politicians to take them away from the VIPs, no, very important personalities. It depends on who.
Who
It
you
cuts.
are. It could be a
It cuts
business
across
person,
any
everybody.
cadre.
Yeah.
It cuts across any cadre. So I mean, ideally, such people were entitled to some sort of police security. But because of the abuse of it, that's where the problem is. Because some people don't even need this thing, and they tell them to escort their children to the airport. I mean, things like that happen on a yes, even to school.
But yet, I feel no matter how rich you are, if you are not giving back to the society and you are not participating in community participation, I do not see any reasons why government should allow police, to start, guiding you when you have private securities, bouncers,
Exactly.
private guides company that can take. But person like Dangote, if Dangote requests for officers to be with him,
Even
of
an
course,
armored tank.
even
As
military
far-
man, because it's the second person that has employed more in Nigeria
Nigeria.
after the federal government.
Yeah.
Even Buhari confirmed it. So if such a kind of person who has created employment
Opportunities.
says, my life is in danger, even the government don't want mosquito to bite you. They protect you at all costs.
That's
You
it.
get it?
Yeah.
So such a kind of person, you can say, this person is giving back to the society. Yeah, but
Deserves
when
to
you
be
talk about
protected.
somebody that is just unnecessarily wealthy, we cannot even trace your
The
wealth.
source of your wealth.
We don't know. You just want to oppress people with everything, and because you can afford to give the Nigerian police fund, then you said let them come out. Then you start passing one way when there's traffic. That thing is a big question.
I don't want to call the name of the church. Something happened like a month back. A member of a church that comes to the church with security guard had a problem with a member of the same church on the Sunday service.
Okay.
And he ordered his security guard to beat up the member of the same church.
And the security guy is a uniform person.
Yes.
Well, that's what we're talking about.
And
We're
the
talking-
pastor was trying to beg the man to calm down, and I asked his guard to calm down. He said no. For the fact we worship in the same church doesn't mean we serve the same God and we have the same grace. I want to show this man that my grace is louder, bigger than him. The whole church were begging him.
That's
Well,
And that's in the church of God.
that's unfortunate. That's the abuse we're talking about. It happens everywhere on a per second basis. And I just think these are just opportunities, because if you find yourself in a position, in a particular position, it's just the grace of God. It's that opportunity has been given to you.
Yeah.
Whether you worked for it or you got it on a platter of gold, you find it that it's an opportunity, and you should use it to the best of your ability. You should use it judiciously, and you should use it wisely. Don't abuse these opportunities, because the fact that you're in that position and you have a police guarding you, and you're securing your life and your property, you should be thankful and grateful, and not take undue advantage of it. So we would like to our director would play part of the speech, and then we could throw the lines open. The number to call is 08027696860. And let's discuss this topic. No more police escort for VIPs in Nigeria. No more police escort for VIPs in Nigeria. How effective is this going to be? That's the question.
My pain is for anybody, or for people, VIP nor VIP, wealthy nor wealthy, that wants policemen to protect them. It's because they are either running from one trouble or the other, from kidnappers, from criminals, from death.
They're not, let's not put it that way. Maybe they're kind of insecure for whatever reason.
That's what I'm saying.
Now, what you're talking about,
for whatever
as long as
reason.
you are feeling insecure,
Uh-huh.
you are protecting your soul first, your person. You don't want to get injured, you don't want to get shot, you don't want to get beaten, you don't want to get embarrassed, and maybe you don't want to get delayed, right? But look there's a man of God in Nigeria that it was in a bulletproof car.
Still has security.
And he still has security. Hello, sir. You have Almighty God, you have Holy Spirit, you have bulletproof car, you are still fearing death. And then you continue to tell us want to make heaven. See where I'm coming
brother,
from. Now,
it
these
is what we
officers,
see.
when they attacked him, about 4 or 5 officers, I don't know, died He survived because
he has a bulletproof
his
car.
wife and his kids were inside a bulletproof car. So if you're
And
going
he
to
has the Holy Spirit.
and yes, if you are going to have a bulletproof car to yourself, you should provide for those
that.
military men too, although I mean
They are human
those
beings
police
too,
officers
yeah.
too. So you feel like that I paid you already. So
Yeah.
if you die, I'm less concerned.
Exactly.
That's another thing.
That's
another
the
point to
government
look for. You understand?
Well, that, you know, that's the topic for another day, because if we decide to deviate into that, we can talk from now till thy kingdom come. Because honestly, I don't understand the way these people reason. You stand on the pulpit and you tell your congregation that there is a God up there
Yeah,
somewhere who
protecting
will
you.
protect you once you call on him.
And you buy sticker.
And you yourself
Romans chapter 8 verse 31.
show
If
that
God
you
be
don't
for us, who
believe.
can be against you?
You
Put
don't
it
be,
on your
you
motto.
don't believe in what you have just told the people, so you're not practicing what you preach. I don't understand, you know, their thought process and
Almost all the talk.
reason.
I know,
Àti pastor,
I know,
àti àfáà,
I know, so that's-
they have security men that follows
That's a
them
topic for a
wherever they are
different
going.
I know a church
terrible.
here in Ogba where if the pastor is preaching on the pulpit, there's a policeman with a gun beside him. The policeman
And that's
escorts
why-
him in and still escort him out. During the plane crash back in those days, I have seen a pastor that wanted to go on a planting of a church in Port Harcourt during the plane crash in those days. You know, we had that rapidly then. So went into the aircraft. The members went in, prayed for them, and told them, "Mercy Johnny, we'll see you guys. The God will protect you." He came down, tell them, "I'm taking a night bus. I'll meet you guys tomorrow."
He knew there was going to be a crash.
Hey, there was no crash, but he was
He was scared of going. You know,
Okay,
taking-
going with them,
Yes, he was
and that's
scared
the
of
pastor of
taking.
the church.
My
And
brother,
that's who
He
they're
felt-
putting their faith in.
he
my
felt-
brother, normally every Nigerian when they enter plane, they
He
fear
felt-
local
he felt-
flights for this
He
country.
felt secure, you know, going by road. That's actually what happened. And you see, that's what we're talking about. When we keep abusing these things, why do pastors need to be secure? You know, why by policemen?
I'm
it doesn't. I don't even think that it should be
When you have
allowed.
protocols,
shouldn't be.
It should not be allowed.
Like we all
honestly.
say, like we have said here now, there's a level to having this thing. You won't expect somebody like Bishop Oyedepo. You won't expect somebody like Baba Adeboye
Adeboye.
not to have police that will escort them or stay with them because.
But can you tell me why
Yes,
they should
because
have police?
yes, because trust
Because
me,
of the crowd.
there is number one. That's because of the crowd. Number two is some people are planning to even attack them physically, not spiritually now, because you would see, especially in this our political era, you have seen there was a time Papa Adeboye came out to say God will lead Tinubu to help Nigeria succeed. People came to social media and started saying, why will he say that? Should he say devil will lead him to succeed Nigeria? So you don't know, there are a lot of aggrieved people outside. Once upon a time when I was in OAE, Obasanjo came to school, OAE, and somebody threw a stone at him. A whole president, you have that courage. They picked that guy, find him. I want to know. They went to Abuja, I don't know what happened else, but he's a big boy eventually. Because you have that confidence. Who taught you? So those
Rio,
kind of people,
My question to you is, if these policemen are withdrawn, what happens to the likes of the people you speak about?
Oshadi.
So,
Oshadi.
so I'm saying,
Oshari.
so I'm saying that, you know, they should allow the policemen to do their work, go back to their police stations and, you know,
And protect the common
protect the
people.
on
But
the
the
masses.
thing is that even
And then
the police-
they should find an alternative. They should
Like-
find an alternative, you know, look for private security men and all of that, and equip them.
Now, I think it's because the constitution
yes.
allows
Like
it.
Rio
should not
said
allow it.
earlier on,
But let's
even
hear
the
what people have to say.
policemen-
Let's hear what people have to
even
say.
the policemen are happy protecting because they
They
know
get-
it's
yes.
an extra source
Yes.
of income.
Brother, what are
You-
you saying?
yeah.
When saying this to them, they're like,
Who sent the message? Who sent the message?
I totally agree, you know, but you see, if we are going
This guy know
to
well.
if we are going to restructure, if we are going to do a restructuring, we have to do a thorough job at it.
But do you know that restructuring has to come from the constitution, the Police Service
the
Commission,
top, yeah.
the Nigerian Police Force, and the Nigerian 1999 constitution that was amended
To
to be amended again.
I
Because
am-
if
I
it's
am-
against the constitution, they will never try.
exactly.
So why is it that back to back, you know, they keep saying that these policemen are going to be withdrawn?
Well, as long as you abuse that privilege, then you will be withdrawn.
Hello?
So that one.
Hello? Hello? Okay, we lost that call.
Okay, so as long as you abuse it, we have seen so many cases. There was a particular NSCDC man, because we've not even talked about, they're almost the same thing. He was happy at one particular event. He wanted to shoot bullet up. He shot his boss.
What about the recent one that happened at
Imo?
No, Yanapaja.
Okay, I've even talking
One of the
about
computer
Imo.
village guy came
Hello?
to do.
Let's take this call. Hello, good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Okay, I think the network is fluctuating,
yes,
but
it's going in
try
and out.
turn down the volume on your TV
TV,
set.
yeah.
Try and see if you have a better working network so that we can communicate, because we'd like to hear from you.
Hello? 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 I'm sure we'll get there.
So like I was saying, this guy is one of the big boy there in Computer Village. Took his birthday to a lounge at Yanapaja. You understand? The police guard were outside and the big boys were inside doing their birthday. So just during the birthday cake, after the cutting of the cake, they came in just to celebrate with the boss. And with the joy, he had a drink with his left hand and had a gun with his right hand, just to impress whoever brought him to the birthday. Wants to fire to the air, mistakenly gunned down 3 people with 1 bullet on the stage. A comedian friend of mine was lucky to escape there because he was on that same stage.
Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
What's your name and where are you calling from, sir?
My name is Pastor Peter.
Pastor Peter.
My 12. From my 12.
Okay. Yes. Can you make your contribution?
I'm hearing your discussion concerning this VIP, particularly pastors who are using police to guide themselves. It seems the Lord is no more their shepherd. Nigerian police now is their shepherd. I don't see the need. If you don't have a cockroach in your cupboard, I don't see the need you carry police all around. And even at times they carry this serene car, so people will be crying for they are the head of state. So I don't know the reason why they are doing it. So there is something wrong. It's better they withdraw this police from them. Other people are dying outside with no security, and they are guarding the VIPs. So please, if this thing can happen, I will be very happy also. I'm also a pastor. We don't need this.
Thank you.
The Lord is our shepherd. So please, I want you to hammer on it very well, and I will be very happy hearing things going on about it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your contribution. So he is actually in support of the Nigeria Police.
I don't want to ask his charge. I just want to ask if I don't know how big is Pastor Peter. I don't know how big his ministry is. But if his ministry is as big as the Christ Embassy, the Winners, the Deeper Lives, the Redeemed, would he not? Don't he think he would need security personnel too?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is David. I'm calling from Sango.
Okay. You want to make a contribution? Go ahead.
Yes. I want you to understand that even when Moritala was alive, his intimate friend, Dinka, was the one that did it. So people are envious of the position that you are, even your close friend. That is my contribution.
Thank you. So point made. So he is against them withdrawing from every. But you see, they have to be able to identify who genuinely needs security. They have to be able to. I mean, you can't just be giving security to people who abuse it. Exactly. The citizens are watching. Who is paying? It's our taxes.
But I think there's a special.
So I mean, we are not getting the security, but the security
to the Police Service Commission.
Exactly. There actually is. Do you understand? but that they pay a part, and then the government pays a part. And where does government get the money from?
Of course, our taxes.
It's our taxes. So then they're not guarding us. I mean, the masses. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if they're using our monies for people like this, we don't want to see it being abused. Hello? Hello? We don't want to see it being abused. So that's the point. And that's why, you see, it's the part that they're abusing this thing that's worrisome. Like you said, they're always taking one way, and they'll be putting on their siren all the time.
Inside very hot
causing,
sun.
yes, causing a lot of traffic.
Hear, wow,
a lot of
Eddie could just come from back of your head.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Where are you calling from, sir? What's your name?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Welcome to the Bumper Breakfast Show. The network is not being very friendly this morning. I don't know if the director is ready. Let's take a clip of that speech, and then we can come back and continue with the calls. But let's take this call first. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Director, can we just take a clip, and then the calls are just coming in. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Hello?
I don't think that call is our call. I don't think that call belongs to us.
Okay. Are we ready? Can we just use that quickly? Yeah, so guys, let's hear from you. What do you think? You are for? You're against?
No, I'm for both of
You're
them.
For both.
Like I gave several illustrations, and I said, if you're contributing, you're giving back to the society, you're participating in community activities, and of course you are helping the government. At least you see what Dangote did with Lagos State government, constructing some part of the Apapa Express Road, should decide. Those kind of people, of course, you should protect them. You should not be told, even as a government, to protect them. What about those people that we don't know? There was one particular man that NDLEA traced his house, one big mansion on the island. It was full of drugs. And you see those kind of persons still carrying escorts.
But those people. Those people actually go to request for the security.
So then the police should do a terror research.
Precisely.
What do you do?
Exactly. And they should be the ones to say these people are important, to the country, to our economy.
I feel like
so
once
we
you
can
have
give them, some sort of security. Not for people who just wake up in the morning and because they have the funds, they request, and then that's it. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, what's your name, sir? Where are you calling from? Welcome to the Bumper Breakfast Show this morning.
Okay, my name is Collins. I'm calling from Agbado Ijai.
You're calling from where?
Agbado Ijai.
Agbado Ijai. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Go ahead and make your contribution.
Concerning this police escort for VIP in Nigeria. Now, are you referring to VIP? Because I see you're only talking about pastors. VIP could even be politicians.
We
just give me a declaration. Just support on that.
Okay.
Now, the VIP, yeah.
Yeah, you wanted me to clarify. Yes, I had even said so. Because my colleagues talked about politicians, and I said to him, VIPs spread across all the cadres. It depends on at what level. So it's not just pastors. But unfortunately,
you seem to be talking about pastors.
No, we're not.
Not only pastors.
They're narrowing down on pastors because there's a lot of abuse in that area, and not because they're talking about pastors alone. We had said it earlier that it cuts across the entire cadre. So it could be businessmen and all of that. It's not just pastors.
All right.
Yes.
With that being said, let's now continue with the discussion. You see the issue of VIP, you cannot, escort for VIP cannot be removed. What can only be done is actually to just reduce the number of securities to them. If we start looking at the current situation in Nigeria, the insecurity in Nigeria, you have to know that we are 200 million people in Nigeria, 200 or more people in even with the political turmoil and the political jihad that is going on in the country.
Yeah.
You know, you need these escorts around. You need them around. So you cannot do away with them. But what you can only do in this case is to just possibly control it, reduce, because of the situation of the financial situation the country is having, you just reduce a number of them out. But to remove them is totally uncalled for. And I would even say it's even impossible in Nigeria. If we talk from now to tomorrow, what will happen is not happen. Contribution. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. That's a fantastic contribution, and that's exactly what we said. We said, I mean, it can't be totally taken away, but what we're saying is that there must be strict. Yes, it must be checkmate. That's the word.
I am not against pastors using escorts. I'm against you blowing siren
and going driving against the traffic.
Yes,
causing confusion, pandemonium, abusing the privileges. You know, that taxpayers' money is
and you're asking who is coming and tell you is one pastor.
Okay, firstly,
this last call,
I think we have another call. Maybe I'll talk about it after this question.
Okay, after this call. Hello, good morning.
Please note that the caller wants you to pay for this.
Okay, that was not our call. So
it wasn't our call.
It's not like you call from Australia. Okay, I was expecting that caller. I was expecting somebody to say, Pastor, you have mentioned pastors. I was just prepared for it. And I love the way you handle it. I mean, God bless you. So this is it.
Thank you.
Africa as a continent, Nigeria as a country, we are very spiritual.
Exactly.
A lot of people, what they should go to the hospital for, they prefer to go to the church or go to the mosque to pray about it when you're supposed to, and you have more blessings when you do with wisdom. Solomon requested for wisdom and understanding. He could have asked for other things, even though there was additional wives and some concubines, but I'm not going.
But he had the wisdom.
He had the wisdom. Do you see this guy? Don't you see this guy? All right, now.
Dealing with two men
is not easy.
It's certainly not easy.
So we are not condemning that those pastors cannot even use it, because I said there is a level to how big your ministry will be. Even the government don't need to be told that, because somewhere like, I will use the example of RCCG, as big as it is, they want to have their annual meetings or conference or camp. You don't expect not to have police officers on ground. Anything could happen in such a kind of place. So we understood that fact that they will be there. But at this junction, we are saying it cross across every sector. You can be a permanent secretary and have a special advisor. Who are you? Special advisor to governor or something? Having escort or what?
We have a call from a pastor, I guess. Hello? Oh, okay, we lost it.
So I was already expecting, and sometimes I feel like we Nigerians are quick to judge. We don't have that tolerance, that patience to understand people's analysis and what they're talking about.
I don't agree with you on this, Rio, because the last caller actually, I don't think he judged. He actually asked the question, because according to him, it seemed as if we were focusing on pastors. And don't forget that we don't know at what point he joined the program. So that's why I had to take him to what we had discussed.
So I'm not actually.
If that was what he heard, and he was making his deductions from that, then it's in order. Do you understand? But after I explained to him, he said, okay. Then he was able to make his contribution. But don't forget that before him, we had two pastors who had called earlier, and in fact, they said they should be withdrawn.
Exactly.
So I'm not going to say that they
like
take
said, I think they have a smaller
like
ministry.
But
yes,
they have a,
you
need them,
because churches also are contributing when it comes to employment opportunity. I can tell you for a fact.
That's true.
When you talk about winners now, they have universities. I'm not even talking about instrumentalists. I'm talking about an establishment where they can recruit people,
let's not even
employ people. You understand? So to an extent, they have that privilege to ask for government security, because their personal security can't be harmed. You can't say you can't give ushers gun, say carry, help me to chase evil spirit, But a police officer can actually carry gun. And I don't think, aside from the pastor that was going one day. Look at what happened to Apostle Sulaiman. He was attacked physically and they shot at. He was the one that used bulletproof car. And the officers were on their normal Black Maria or whatever, and they lost their life. They died. It was how the team played after. I don't like, and the way he sounded after. But I don't like to even put mouth in anything that concerns men and women of God, Christian, Muslim, because I'm not God.
So maybe we should move away from that gradually, because
the Lord is my shepherd.
It seems to me that we're focusing too much on the churches. But yes, I mean, for obvious reasons, because the abuse is a whole lot, we must say. But having said that, you know, I mean, people, you know, VIPs generally, you know, abuse this position. Even the politicians, they do.
And I feel like,
have you forgotten a couple of years ago when one politician went to, I've forgotten how it played out, to a young girl's shop? Well, I think he went to buy something, or
to can you remember? Sex store.
To a sex, that's it.
He's from Madam Awa State.
Yeah.
Senator
Hello?
Ado.
Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the program.
Could you please reduce the volume on your TV set?
What? Chief Olukoya Ladipo.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to make a contribution, want to ask a question? Please go ahead.
Just to support what people are saying, the discussion. We even support the police to remove the VIP because even we are talking about insecurity in Nigeria. We have no enough security. Why some people see attached about 5-7 policemen or
their houses.
I support the government to the police commission to just withdraw their escort. Even the pastors, all of them. If we are talking about the religious issue, I thought they told us that the God is their shepherd. They just say that the God is their own shepherd, my Lord. So, why are they looking for the mopo of the Holy Ghost? They need to take the mopo of this Holy Ghost instead of looking for the mopo of police force.
So you're in support of them being withdrawn? Okay. Thank you.
Chief. Hello, Chief. Hello, Chief. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
What about the traditional rulers that goes around with security men?
They have
Let them use they have whatever they can use to protect them.
Let everybody be on their own.
Yes,
let your God speak for you.
All this, you know now what I'm trying to say. So let everybody use whatever he believes on.
Okay.
Instead of using our security. We have a shortage of police, and some people are still using our own police force. When people are trying northeast, everywhere, all this religion are trying, even the southeast, everybody, even the southwest. They are short of policemen, everybody are trying. So some people are still having like 10, 15. So let them just remove all of them. So I support this police commission to review the export.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your contribution.
Really, there's this one again I noticed. All these CEOs that have lounge, you realize that they have massive security men, and those
sometimes they
use military men in most of their lounges, and they hardly go home. You see the security men, they wake up there, take their bait, dress up, eat there, and because they were meant to be rotated, they will stay for a week or 2 months or 3 months.
You already said it. He who pays the piper dictates the tune, because they're getting, these men are not even willing to leave. You already said it. You analyzed it earlier. They are not willing to leave. But you see, let's react to the last caller. It's a situation of how full or how empty is this glass. You know, perception. You see, he is fighting for the masses. He's one of the masses, and he's saying, look, let these policemen be for everybody and not just a few. But you know, like we already said, that may be difficult. You know,
now
I wish it could happen, but in reality, no, it's not likely to happen, because there is a need here and there. But what we're saying is we don't want it to be abused. We won't open our eyes and see these privileges being abused.
There's something I want us to understand. It's like when they are protecting the VIPs, they are proactive, very, very active. But when it comes to the common man, have you ever
common one won't offer?
No,
No,
we
start
we
from-
just
when you call
we
them,
just
they'll be
said-
telling you there is no fuel. Maybe something just happened, an armed robber scene. You call the police, and they'll be telling you
Hello?
there is no fuel in our car. Okay.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, who am I speaking with?
We are speaking to Mr. Iromu from Ikeja.
From Ikeja.
Yeah, when I on my TV now, I saw no more police escort for VIP. Very, very good. I like it. But there's something that I want you to help us contribute again. Is all these, Uber people. You see some of them just as any motor, they just go and take the motor. For what? It's not supposed to be in this country. Everybody are just doing anything anyhow. So since you know that you are
Hello.
you are
Hello.
very good citizens in this country. So anywhere you are going, be free to go. No more escorts. Thank you very much. I like it. That thing, go and tell all the movers to tell the police people to cancel anybody. Even don't take your money again. Just be free to go.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank
Thank
you,
you
sir.
so much. Thank you.
So like I was saying, I said, most of these policemen, they don't protect the common man the same way they do to the rich men.
For obvious reasons.
You will call them for a police, or maybe a crime scene. They won't turn up. They'll be giving you an excuse. We don't have fuel in our car. We don't have enough bullets to come. DPO is not here to assign bullet for us. I've seen a policeman that once told me at K2, Salakbere, some years back. He called me, come. I said, good evening, sir. I said, good evening. Neither you want pass. I said, he said, no pass. They go rob you there. Come pass here. And there was a police van there. And he was telling me not to pass there. They will rob me. Then why is it there?
Well, when
He
was
didn't
when
make
when
enough
when
provision for him
when
to
was
protect the people.
when was this? When was this first of
That
all?
was like five years ago.
Uh-huh.
I can tell those places
So
were
I was
dangerous places
I was
even
even
at
going
that
to
time.
say that recently, in fairness to the police, they have really improved. Honestly, they have really improved, and they have lines that you could call. You could call the Commissioner of Police in Lagos State.
Directly, yeah.
You could, you can just, and something will be done. It's much more different than it was
before.
5
No,
years.
you know.
And I
you
remember
know-
we once had the PPRO on
Yes,
the
in the
program.
end.
Yes, and I remember we talked about the K2 axis. The following day, I passed that out, and everywhere was different. So they're responding, you see. They need, and he said something. He said, when the police do well,
Let all.
nobody talks about it.
And that's true.
And that's true. So, yes, let's give them kudos for what they have done, but we will still complain because we want it to be
be better.
perfected. Yes.
As long as
Even if we don't have
as long as
perfection.
Nigerian police are not God, we'll continue to complain. They are human beings like us.
Exactly.
Nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect.
And there is mistakes are very important because without mistake you cannot
can't
be
get
corrected.
better.
And when you are not corrected, you can never learn. When you are not learning, you are not living, right? And one thing I want us to know on this table is that police is a very good profession.
It's
A very, very good one.
Except for the bad one.
When I
It
was
should
in
be
Ile-Ife once
respectable.
upon a time, I met an area commander in an eatery. He wanted to get food. I was going to get food. I was jealous of his dress. I was forced to go meet him and tell him, excuse me, I love your outfit.
That's what I told
And it was like-
the PPRO when he came here. And
was
even
like-
his oddly, you need to have seen his oddly.
It was like, thank you.
Extremely
If every
neat.
police officer dressed like you,
I'm
sir.
telling you, you really feel like joining the police force.
And then if you're hearing good news about the police, I think they have a lot of works to do too within themselves. They need to feed some black people, some black sheep out of there.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, madam.
Yes, welcome to the program.
I'm happy to reach out to you this morning.
I'm happy to have you as well. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Paul from Oba.
Okay, you want to make a contribution?
I'm also happy to see MCVO.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
sir.
I listen to your program on radio every morning.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Ria is a superstar. He's a Balogun.
I enjoy this program.
Thank you.
Yeah, the reason why I'm calling is that you see this issue of no more police escort for VIPs. We've been saying this thing before now. I found out that every new police officer or IG that is given the arms of leadership in the police always bring that statement up. At the end of the day, we found out that that action will not be implemented. This new IG has said it again. Before you know it, maybe after 1 week, they will now go back to the same people and begin to follow them like ants. So I don't know, because this is not the first time we are hearing this. The last IGP did the same thing. Before you know it, they went back to the same people for us all day. So I don't think this will stand. If it's able to stand, well and good, but I don't think it will stand. This is not the first time we're hearing this. Before you know it, they will go back. So I don't know. I just pray they can be able to stand by their word. It will go a long way. We have so many places to secure in Nigeria. You will find out that all of them will be, imagine the 7th policeman just calling one officer, one person. The doesn't will work out that way, and the other places in the country will be left unsecured. And it's even the poor masses that are bearing this guns. So if they can stand by this, so that there will be enough police people to govern all the looks and crannies that are not secure. That having a police office, about 10, 20 police officers to one politician, and the rest of us will suffer.
Thank you so much, Mr. Paul.
Stand by their word.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you.
I have a blessed day.
And you too. Thank you.
One thing I observe, is I think the people are heartbroken and our trust have been tampered with. Somebody continued to say, every politician will promise you, trust me, they must make one promise they will not fulfill. Right?
One or several promises?
That's from politicians.
Several promises.
Several promises. Now, if you come to even private sectors, they make promises too. They don't fulfill. Now, you come to the Nigerian police, because we have this mentality about police. I can tell you, if you bring 100 normal Nigerians, just ordinary Nigerians, and say, how many of you like Nigerian police? Maybe 86 will tell you no. And maybe the remaining few will be optimistic about it.
You have to think about it.
But if you bring military, have you gone to police barrack and go to the army barrack or Air Force base and see? Discipline should start from your own barracks, from your own offices. You won't enter any counter, Nigerian police, and AC will touch you. Where? If AC touch you, Ray 1-4, now the breeze they enter.
May I just say this, in response to what you're saying. You see, I want to believe that when these leaders take over, in whatever capacity, they make these pronouncements and they make these promises, they are making it with good intents. Do you understand? But by the time they get into the job, it's overwhelming for them. And I'm saying this because, in my own little way, I lead a small community. Do you understand? And I remember when I was running for the post of president, I said to them, I will do A, B, C, D, and E. Okay? And now my tenure is about to come to an end. And you see, there have been so many other things that I have done, which I didn't put down and promise to say that I will do these things. And those things have taken my time. But you see, gradually as my tenure comes to an end, I go back and I say, what was it I promised the people? I now start looking at my manifesto. And I say to myself, I need to tick this off and tick this off and tick this off. Not many people can do that. That's where they get lost, because it is overwhelming for them. So I want to believe that some of these things are not intentional, because what he said, we had said at the beginning of the program, the MC, you said it, that they say it all the time, and they never achieve it. But let's hope that there will be processes and procedures in place to use his word to checkmate. Do you understand? We cannot wipe this out completely, but we can checkmate it such that for a VIP who had hitherto had like 25 policemen, you're giving him 5 because, or 7 because he needs just 7. It's not what he wants or
Not
what he can afford to pay
battalions.
for, but what he
Not
actually
convoys.
needs. Do you understand? And if we do that, then I don't think the people will complain.
You know, there are, for the IG to get the position he is now, acting IG. Remember, it was one time commissioner of police. It was one time one way or the other had encounter with the current president. And you know, the constitutions allow you to put people that you trust in those kind of positions. Now, this is it. Even if the IG, I like what you said though, but at the same time, we need to understand that the IG has been in the Nigerian police force for
Wow.
several
Yes,
years.
yes.
So he knows the system
He
in and
knows
out.
the system.
I agree.
He knows the implication of withdrawing police from VIP. He knows the merit of giving it to them. But at the same time, what about withdrawing it from some VIP we don't know? They are not even giving to the community, or they are giving indirectly. We don't know them. And they have connection to talking with the president or the first lady
Directly.
or the chief of staff or the secretary to the federal government to say, they will kill us, so they've withdrawn this thing. You know, at the point, if the power is coming from the top, you might be choiceless to say, okay, let me do this thing, because the president already give you an order that, oh, okay, withdraw from this one, because it can always happen. At that time, you are helpless, and the people think, oh, he said he will withdraw. Now, he did not withdraw. So I
Okay.
guess there are influences too that that cause.
I am
Let-
very,
let-
I am,
sorry, let's hold that thought. We'll take a break right now and we'll come back shortly. Stay tuned.